Have you ever wondered why two traders can use the exact same strategy, look at the exact same chart, enter at almost the exact same price, and yet one consistently makes money while the other keeps losing? Most beginners think the answer is knowledge. They think the successful trader simply knows something they don't. Maybe it's a secret indicator. Maybe it's insider information. Maybe it's a complicated strategy nobody else has discovered. But after years of studying markets, making mistakes, losing money, and eventually becoming consistently profitable, I discovered something that completely changed the way I looked at trading. Winning traders don't think differently because they have better charts. They think differently because they have trained their minds. Welcome to Think Trade. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most important subjects in trading: the psychology of winning traders. If you truly understand what I'm about to share, it might change the way you approach trading forever. Because here's the truth: the market isn't really testing your strategy. It's testing you. Every single trade is a mirror. It reflects your patience, your discipline, your confidence, your fear, your greed, your emotional stability, and until you master yourself, the market will continue teaching you expensive lessons. Let's begin. The market is emotion on a chart. Most people believe charts are made of candles. I disagree. Charts are made of human emotions. Every green candle represents confidence. Every red candle represents fear. Every breakout represents hope. Every crash represents panic. Every rally represents optimism. Every collapse represents regret. Price moves because millions of people are making emotional decisions. And if you're making emotional decisions too, you're simply becoming part of the crowd. Winning traders understand something very important. The crowd is usually late. The crowd buys because everyone is excited. The crowd sells because everyone is terrified. Professional traders know this. They don't chase emotions. They wait for opportunities. The market rewards patience far more than excitement. Your biggest enemy isn't the market. When beginners lose money, they blame everything: the broker, the spread, the economy, the news, market manipulation, bad luck, anything except themselves. Winning traders take a completely different approach. Instead of asking, "Why did the market do this to me?" they ask, "What did I do wrong?" This simple shift changes everything. Because the market doesn't know you exist. It isn't trying to punish you. It isn't rewarding someone else. The market simply moves. Your job is not to control it. Your job is to control yourself. That realization is incredibly freeing. Because while you cannot control price, you can control your decisions. Winning traders think in probabilities. One of the hardest lessons every trader must learn is this: no strategy wins all the time. Read that again. No strategy wins all the time. Not even the world's greatest traders win every trade. Imagine flipping a coin that's designed to land on heads 60% of the time. Would you expect heads every single flip? Of course not. You could easily get 5 tails in a row. That doesn't mean the coin stopped working. Trading works the same way. Winning traders understand probabilities. They don't become emotional after one losing trade. They don't panic after 2 losses. They don't suddenly abandon their system. They know their edge plays out over dozens or even hundreds of trades. They trust the process. Amateurs judge every trade. Professionals judge hundreds of trades together. That's a massive psychological difference. Patience is more valuable than intelligence. Many people believe trading rewards intelligence. To some extent, knowledge helps. But patience matters far more. Some of the smartest people struggle in trading because they always want action. They overthink. They overanalyze. They overtrade. Meanwhile, a patient trader sits quietly. Hours pass. Nothing happens. Still waiting. Eventually, the perfect setup appears. One trade. One good decision. One disciplined execution. Sometimes that's all they need for the day. Winning traders understand they aren't paid for working harder. They're paid for waiting longer. This completely changes the game. Imagine a fisherman. Does he jump into the water chasing every fish? No, he waits. Trading is exactly the same. Patience creates profits. Impatience creates losses. The need to be right. One of the biggest psychological traps in trading is the desire to be right. People hate admitting they're wrong. So what happens? They hold losing trades. They move stop losses. They average down. They hope. Hope becomes their strategy. But hope is not a trading system. Winning traders don't care about being right. They care about making good decisions. Sometimes a good decision loses money. Sometimes a bad decision accidentally makes money. The outcome doesn't always determine the quality of the decision. Professional traders understand this deeply. They focus on executing correctly, not protecting their ego. Because every time your ego enters a trade, logic leaves it. Discipline beats motivation. Many beginners wait until they feel motivated. Professional traders don't. They rely on routines. Motivation disappears. Discipline stays. Imagine brushing your teeth. You probably don't wake up feeling incredibly motivated. You simply do it. Trading should become the same. Review charts. Wait. Execute only qualified setups. Manage risk. Record results. Repeat. Winning traders remove unnecessary decisions. They create habits. Because habits require less emotional energy. And fewer emotional decisions mean fewer emotional mistakes. Fear never completely disappears. Many beginners believe successful traders become fearless. That isn't true. Fear never disappears. Successful traders simply learn how to manage it. Even experienced traders feel nervous before important trades. The difference is that they don't let fear make decisions. Fear says, "What if I lose?" Discipline says, "I've followed my rules." Fear says, "Take profit early." Discipline says, "Follow the plan." Fear whispers. Discipline leads. Every single successful trader has learned to separate emotions from execution. Confidence comes from preparation. Many people think confidence is a personality trait. It's not. Confidence comes from evidence. Imagine taking an exam without studying. You'd probably feel nervous. Now imagine studying every day for 3 months. Your confidence naturally increases. Trading works exactly the same way. Winning traders build confidence through preparation. They backtest. They journal. They study. They review mistakes. They understand their statistics. Confidence doesn't come from positive thinking. It comes from repeated preparation. That's why real confidence is quiet. It doesn't need to prove itself. Stop chasing the big win. One of the fastest ways to destroy a trading account is chasing one massive trade. People dream about doubling their account overnight. But professionals think differently. They ask, "How can I protect my capital?" Because they understand something beginners don't. Capital is opportunity. Lose your capital, and the opportunity disappears. Protect your capital, and opportunities never stop coming. Winning traders aren't obsessed with making money. They're obsessed with protecting the ability to make money tomorrow. That's a completely different mindset. Emotional recovery matters. Everyone talks about recovering financially. Very few people talk about recovering emotionally. Suppose you lose 5 trades in a row. Your account may recover next month. But what about your confidence? Your discipline? Your decision making? Winning traders know when to pause. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. Sometimes the strongest decision is closing the platform and walking away. Not because they're weak, because they're wise. Emotional capital is just as valuable as financial capital. Protect both. Greed is the silent account killer. Let's talk about one emotion that destroys more trading accounts than almost anything else. Greed. Now, greed doesn't always look obvious. Most people imagine greed as someone trying to turn $100 into $1 million overnight. Sometimes it looks like that. But most of the time, greed is much more subtle. Greed is taking one more trade after you've already reached your daily target. Greed is increasing your lot size because yesterday was a winning day. Greed is refusing to take profit because you think the market will, definitely, keep going. Greed is risking money you cannot afford to lose because you're convinced this setup is different. The market has a funny way of humbling people who become overconfident. Winning traders understand that enough is enough. They know when to stop. Some of the best traders in the world finish trading before lunch. Not because there aren't opportunities later. Because they already executed their plan. They don't feel the need to squeeze every dollar out of the market. The market will still be there tomorrow. That simple belief creates incredible peace. Imagine leaving the market after reaching your target. No stress, no chasing, no regret, just discipline. That's the mindset of a professional. Revenge trading is emotional gambling. Have you ever taken a loss and immediately wanted your money back? Of course, every trader has experienced that feeling. The problem begins when emotion takes control. You lose one trade, then another. Instead of slowing down, you speed up, you double your position, you ignore your setup, you click buy or sell simply because you're angry. At that moment, you're no longer trading. You're gambling. The market doesn't know you're trying to recover your losses. It doesn't care. It simply continues doing what it always does. Winning traders have one simple rule. They never trade to recover money. They only trade when their edge appears. There's a huge difference. One decision is emotional. The other is professional. If you've had a bad day, step away. Go for a walk, exercise, read, spend time with family. Tomorrow is another trading day. You don't need to win today. You need to survive long enough to become consistently profitable. Consistency beats occasional brilliance. Many beginners have amazing trading days. The problem is they can't repeat them. One week they make incredible profits. The next week they lose everything. That's not consistency. That's randomness. Winning traders don't chase extraordinary days. They build ordinary routines. Think about elite athletes. Championships aren't won because of one spectacular performance. They're won because of years of consistent practice. Trading works exactly the same way. The trader who makes 2% every month for years often outperforms the trader who makes 50% one month and loses 60% the next. Consistency isn't exciting. It's repetitive. It's sometimes boring. But boring is beautiful in trading. If your trading feels like an emotional roller coaster every day, something is wrong. Professionals aim for calm, not excitement. Your identity determines your decisions. Here's something most people never think about. People don't simply act based on knowledge. They act based on identity. If someone believes, "I'm unlucky," their decisions often reflect that belief. If someone believes, "I'm impulsive," they'll usually behave impulsively. Winning traders build a different identity. They don't say, "I hope I become disciplined." They begin saying, "I am a disciplined trader." That may sound like a small difference. It isn't. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior creates habits. Habits create results. Every morning, remind yourself who you're becoming, not who you've been. Every great trader started as a beginner. Nobody was born understanding markets. Everyone learned. Everyone struggled. Everyone made mistakes. The difference is that successful traders didn't allow temporary failures to define who they were. Risk is the price of opportunity. Many people want trading without risk. That doesn't exist. Every worthwhile opportunity in life carries uncertainty. Starting a business carries risk. Investing carries risk. Driving a car carries risk. Even doing nothing carries risk. The goal isn't to eliminate risk. The goal is to manage it intelligently. Winning traders respect risk. They don't fear it. They don't ignore it. They simply calculate it. Before entering any trade, they already know exactly how much they're willing to lose. That sounds simple, but psychologically it's powerful, because once the trade begins, there's nothing left to negotiate. The decision has already been made. Notice how different that feels compared to staring at a losing position wondering what to do. Professionals decide before the trade. Amateurs decide during the trade. That's one reason professionals remain calmer. Detach your self-worth from your trading results. This lesson took me a long time to understand. Losing money does not make you a failure. Making money does not make you a genius. The market has a way of exposing both arrogance and insecurity. Some traders become depressed after one losing day. Others become unbelievably confident after one winning week. Both reactions are dangerous. Your value as a human being should never depend on today's trading result. You are more than your account balance. Winning traders understand this. They separate performance from identity. That emotional separation allows them to recover much faster after losses. They don't carry yesterday's emotions into today's decisions. Every trading day begins with a clean mind. That's a huge competitive advantage. Learn to love boredom. This may surprise you. Most profitable trading isn't exciting. It's actually quite boring. Waiting, watching, ignoring mediocre setups, following rules, recording trades, repeating the process. Hollywood has convinced people that success looks dramatic. Real success usually looks ordinary. The professional trader spends far more time waiting than clicking. If you constantly need excitement, trading will probably become expensive entertainment. Winning traders learn to enjoy patience. They understand that boredom often means discipline, and discipline eventually becomes profit. Journaling creates self-awareness. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is keeping a trading journal. Not just recording profits and losses. Record your emotions. Were you nervous, overconfident, tired, distracted, greedy, patient? After several months, you'll begin seeing patterns. Maybe your worst trades happen late at night. Maybe your biggest losses occur after winning streaks. Maybe fear causes you to exit early. Without a journal, these patterns remain invisible. Winning traders study themselves just as much as they study charts. Because improving yourself often improves your trading. Protect your mind outside the market. Psychology doesn't begin when the market opens. It begins the moment you wake up. Poor sleep affects judgment. Stress affects patience. Poor health affects concentration. Constant social media scrolling shortens your attention span. Everything influences your decisions. That's why many successful traders value simple routines. Enough sleep, exercise, healthy food, quiet thinking. reading, time away from screens. These aren't luxuries, they're part of trading performance. A tired mind makes expensive decisions. A clear mind notices opportunities. Think like a business owner. One of the biggest shifts you can make is this. Stop thinking like a gambler. Start thinking like a business owner. Businesses have expenses. Trading losses are business expenses. Businesses have profitable months and slower months. Trading is no different. Businesses don't panic because one customer leaves. Professional traders don't panic because one trade loses. They focus on the bigger picture. They measure quarterly performance, yearly performance, hundreds of trades, not one emotional moment. When you begin thinking this way, trading becomes much less stressful. Success comes from thousands of small decisions. People often ask, what's the secret? They expect one magical answer, one perfect strategy, one hidden indicator. But the truth is much simpler. Winning traders become successful through thousands of tiny decisions. Choosing patience instead of impulse. Following risk management. Accepting small losses. Reviewing mistakes. Protecting capital. Waiting for quality. Managing emotions. Doing the boring work consistently. That's where success lives. Not in one spectacular trade, but in thousands of disciplined choices made over time. Final thoughts. If there's one message I want you to remember from this video, it's this. The market does not reward intelligence alone. It rewards emotional control. It rewards patience. It rewards discipline. It rewards humility. Every profitable trader you've ever admired had to fight the same emotions you're fighting today. Fear, greed, doubt, frustration. The difference is they didn't let those emotions become their leader. They built systems. They trusted routines. They accepted uncertainty. And over time, they transformed not only their trading, but themselves. Because that's the hidden truth about trading. Trading isn't just about making money. It's about becoming the kind of person who deserves consistent success. The charts teach patience. Losses teach humility. Wins teach confidence. Discipline teaches freedom. And every single trade becomes another opportunity to strengthen your character. So the next time you sit down in front of your charts, remember this. The real battle isn't between you and the market. It's between the disciplined version of you and the emotional version of you. Feed the disciplined trader every single day. Protect your capital. Protect your mindset. Trust the process. And never stop learning. Because in the end, the greatest investment you will ever make isn't into a currency, a stock, or a chart. It's into your own mind. Thank you for watching Think Trade. If this video helped you see trading from a different perspective, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment sharing the biggest psychological challenge you've faced as a trader, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, think clearly, trade wisely, win consistently. I'll see you in the next video.